Oh, I do love the big men. How could you not, okay? NFL Live back here in Detroit.
I got a couple reasons how you could not.
Well, Dan, that's because they took you down. All right, here's the breakdown of first-round picks who got a second contract with the team that drafted them from 2000 to 2019 by position. That was a good one, Swag. You'd have to be on the field. Offensive line comes out the best. 92% of centers, 59% of tackles, and 50% of guards signed a second deal. Quarterbacks came in at 46%. Wide receivers were the worst, actually, at 27%. You think about the success rate, it's hard to gather. Swag, you let me borrow your shades.
They look fly, Boogie.
I think I'm going to give them back, though. I'm not sure. I think they look better on you.
Okay.
But anyway, we've made a position change. We'll see if the lights come back on at our set. Detroit's own Dan Orlovsky.
They love Dan over here. They like the sweater. They like the car. Hey, can I get a Jared Goff chant?
Okay. All right, well, that
They
continues.
deep out here.
We're going to talk about the big men. There could be a run tonight on offensive linemen. It kind of seems like that happens in these drafts, and we're talking about all these other position players and quarterbacks. People need tackles. They need O-linemen. Which teams really need them tonight?
Freaking all of them, to be honest. No, I mean, I go through every team. Not this team, because they got Penei Sewell. They are fine. But outside of that, going through the draft and just looking at all the teams and listing their needs, I listed 14 teams that could take an offensive tackle. Not offensive lineman, y'all. Offensive tackle. Starting, of course, with the Chargers and Titans, the Bears, potentially, the Jets, the Raiders, the Saints with the uncertainty around Ryan Ramczyk. To me, that's a very obvious offensive tackle team. The Bengals, the Steelers, clearly, the Dolphins could go, and the Cowboys could also go in the interior of the offensive line. Packers are a team to watch. At the end of the first round, the Ravens, the Niners, and Chiefs, all of these teams could take offensive tackles. I listed 14. If even 10 of them, we'd be looking at a record-breaking draft.
How many of them are first-round tackles? 5? 6?
I think more.
Really?
Yeah. I think we could see 7 or 8. Yeah.
Chargers were one of the teams on that list. Is there a tackle specifically you like for Harbaugh's team?
Yeah, I think it's J.C. Latham from Alabama because while, they have Rashawn Slater at left tackle. So you need to get somebody who's a right tackle. And Harbaugh wants to be the pound-the-rock, physical football team. They want to be run-centric. If you take Justin Herbert and you give him Rashawn Slater on his left, and then you go Latham on the right, you're going, now we got a chance to make this guy the MVP type of player. And then maybe it's Joe Alt from Notre Dame. But I just think that, the side that the tackle plays on for the Chargers is very specific to them.
There's J.C. Latham getting ready to go, the Trench King, by the way. You know he's going to be iced out.
Cardiac.
By the way, let me tell you, he is now the favorite for the 5th pick. So maybe somebody knows something.
That's a rapid rise.
Alt is a left tackle.
Yes.
Joe Alt's probably going to play left tackle.
And he's also known for Mel.
Right.
Andrew Whitworth.
Whitworth would be the comp?
That's a pretty good comp. Hey, go ahead, RC.
Yeah, for me, I think the Jets, right? When you look at the Jets and you think to yourself, if J.C. Latham is off of the board, you can be talking about Joe Alt or Olu Fashanu from Penn State. They need someone that could protect Aaron Rodgers. And also, even though you go out and you add veteran help there, Smith hasn't been healthy in the last few years. So you're expecting that he's going to miss some games. And you're going to need a young player. And also, if Joe Alt is intelligent player that Marcus Freeman has told me he is, he's a guy that can slide to the right side if need be. And what you need is some versatility if you're going to draft a tackle early on in this draft if you feel like you already have 2 starters.
Cornerstones is what I think about when I think about offensive linemen. Zach Martin in Dallas, all of the stuff that's went crazy, he's the mainstay. You think about what Tyron Smith was on that team. You think about Trent Williams in San Francisco. You know what it is about offensive linemen? You don't think about them much until you don't have one. And with all of these guys coming in to be able to impact, like we talk about Penei here in Detroit, don't you think for 1 minute the success is not a lot tied to the way that he plays football as well? So I think wherever they go, you get the guy for the next 10 to 15 years, that wherever this revolving cycle happens with quarterbacks, you know you got a stalwart that'll be there to protect them, and they don't miss much when you draft them either.
Are any of them capable of playing inside? Like Dallas took Tyler Smith. We all thought he was going to play tackle.
Oregon. Fautanu out of Washington would play inside or outside.
So I think those guys are a little bit more likely to go into that teen world because of that versatility.
Both Mel and Field, by the way, have 7 offensive tackles going in the first round in their latest mock.
Crazy.
As Mina mentioned